Hello, I'm Heather Davis, and I would like to talk to you about children who are raised by single parents. Living in America today is hard. Families used to be able to survive off the income of just one parent, but these days, families need to survive off the income of both parents. Unfortunately, in most recent years, you're more likely to see families being raised by a single parent. The most common are single mothers, and these single mothers have been placed in a stereotype. Most people believe that children raised by a single mother will grow up to become either drug addicts or drug dealers. Some even grow up to become worse than that, like murderers. But somehow the positive effects are overlooked. I would like to clarify the positive and the negative effects on children raised by a single family, provide examples of people who were raised by a single parent, and provide also precautions that single parents can take to avoid becoming a statistic. Contrary to popular belief, not all of the effects on children raised by a single family are negative. According to Kelly Bessler, an author of an article on singlemothersnet.com, children who are raised by a single mother grow up to be more self-sufficient, responsible, and have a better understanding of adult relationships. In my opinion, these are good characteristics for any child to have. However, there are negative effects to being raised in a single family home. And these negative effects catch people's attention more so than the positive ones. Bessler goes on to say that children raised in a single family home, the negative effects are most closely related to that single parent's finances. Most single families live on or below the poverty line, making it very hard to get by. Single parents are also shunned by society, so having a good support system is imperative. Unfortunately, there are extremes to the negative effects of children raised by a single family home. These extremes include, like mentioned earlier, drug addicts or drug dealers. The same can be said for children that are raised in normal homes. So I urge you to not believe this stereotype that is unwarranted. Being raised by a single family has its positive and its negative effects on the children's futures. If you're like most people, you will closely relate this subject to crime. In some cases like Charles Manson, you would be correct. In Charles Manson's biography on the biographychannel.com, it states that Manson's birth was not planned by his 16-year-old mother. Manson's mother was in and out of jail, and her lack of supervision, should I say, and her extremely bad examples were the platform for Manson's madness. I would like to argue, however, that not all cases are as extreme as Manson's. I believe that with the right direction for children, by the single family home or not, that the child can grow up to be something great. Olympic gold medalist Michael Phelps was raised by his single mother after her divorce. According to biography.com, Michael Phelps holds a record for the most medals won in one Olympics. With Michael Phelps' accomplishments stacking up, I can only imagine how proud his mother is of him. So you can see, not every child is doomed or on the road to disaster when they're raised by a single family. There are precautions that a single parent can take to avoid these negative effects of children being raised by a single family. I urge single parents to take an active role as a role model in their lives, and they can take their children to church and learn from other people's mistakes. But they can take their children to church and get them as active in that as possible. Single parents need to learn from the mistakes of others, like Banson's mother, who often dropped him off with other family members to go out and party. Single parents should get their children involved in sports, crafts, hobbies, any activity to keep them busy. The more active the child is, the less likely they are to get in trouble. Single parents should also delegate responsibilities around the house to their children. And the more they learn of responsibilities, the better off that they will be, and they'll set and instill good values in them. This subject hits home for me because I am a single mother of 2 children, ages 6 and 3. I work, I go to school, and I also run my photography business on the side. I'm busy, but I make sure that I listen to my daughter read every night. And if she has homework, I sit down and I do it with her. I keep both of my children going to church on a regular basis. And I try to keep them as active as possible in the church. I'm not perfect by no means, but I refuse to become a statistic. When my children grow up and become educated and have a steady job, it will be because of my good direction. If, however, they grow up to be some of the negative effects that we mentioned before, the drug addicts or the drug dealers, it will not be because of my example. It will be because of their own doing. I believe with the right amount of love, direction, examples, discipline, and even encouragement, our children we don't have to become a statistic. Thank you for listening.